Next question is from Peter in Jemmy 57. Is it effective at all to do your compound lifts at the end of your workouts? With the gyms filling up at this time, sometimes it's hard to get the main lifts in at the beginning.
All right, so first off, doing them is better than not doing them.
I was going to say, effective at all, of course it's effective because you did them.
Now, I will say this. So first off, let's preface this that for the most part, compound lifts are better done in the beginning. You have more energy, better stability. They're the bigger bang for your buck exercises, so you should do them at the beginning. That being said, there are cases where compound lifts at the end are superior. And one case I can think of off the top of my head is when you have trouble connecting to a lagging body part that you're trying to develop. So for example, if you're somebody that's really trying to develop your, let's say your butt, and you're doing lots of squats and your butt isn't developing the way you want, sometimes it's better to start your workout out with isolation exercises for your butt so you can feel it. You get some blood flow there. You get a pump there. You feel the burn. Then go do your compound lift.
Pre-exhaust method?
Yeah, and you have a natural cue. Like, oh, okay, if I position myself, now I can really feel my butt working when I'm doing the squat. So you can do this with, you know, your chest, your lats, your shoulders. If those are lagging body parts and the compound lifts aren't doing it for you, sometimes it's better to start with the isolation lift, then go to the compound.
That's really the only case I see is like if it's unresponsive, like if you're not feeling like it's being included in those big compound lifts and it's a major muscle group that you're trying to develop. But in terms of the actual function of a lot of, like, you're going to have your best performance when you're not exhausted at all. That's just like bottom line. So if I'm looking at it in terms of like progressing strength wise in those specific lifts, I would have them in the beginning.
You know, if this was my client, I would tell him I don't care. I would say,
because what's the most important thing?
That you do it.
Yeah, that
you do it. And I don't care if we are like talking performance, a competitor who's got to do a squat meet, this and that. Like, of course, we have to organize it. We need to max out every single workout.
Right.
But you are going to get 99% of the benefits by just doing the movement, even if you are working at a, say, 10% less capacity or whatever. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you do, and what what matters more is the fact that you got there, you're going to the gym, you're not discouraged because you can't do your compound lifts first because they're completely backed up. You're not going to sit around and do nothing for 23 minutes. You're going to go through your workout, and then when the squat rack opens up, you're going to go over and do it, and you're going to be just fine. And you're going to see great results.
Now, some tips: you want to go lighter,
right?
And you want to focus on form and technique, and really. I'd say slow things down, have more control.
Well, so we talk about this all the time. People ask us about, tempo
Change
squats,
your variables.
isometric stuff. Mess with some of your other variables. Maybe, you know what? Today's not going to be my super heavy squat day because I'm not going to be able to get to it till the end of my workout. So you know what? Maybe I'm going to do those pause squats.
Yep.
Or maybe I'm going to slow the tempo down to a 5-second negative. I haven't done that in a really long time. Great time to play with those things when you get hit with something like this.
Yeah, it's funny. When I was a kid, I really wanted to develop my shoulders. And I would start my workouts out, this was as a teenager, with rear flies, because I read an article talking about how the rear delt was so important for shoulder, appearance. And then I did side laterals, and then I do overhead presses. And my shoulders developed phenomenally because I was able to connect better. Otherwise, it was like an arm press. When I would do overhead press, I think my arms were taking over too much. So it was that pre-exhaust kind of thing that I talked about earlier. And it really worked. And I use this on clients whenever they had trouble connecting to a muscle. We would do the isolation first, then go to lift. But the point you make too, Adam, is exceptional. It's just going to change. Like if I'm doing deadlifts at the beginning of the workout, it's going to be like the weight and the power and the strength and the tension. If I do deadlifts at the end of the workout, it's about squeezing and slowing down.
Totally different intent.
Totally a different intent. Both valuable though. So that's the thing. They're both totally valuable.
And probably good. I mean, that's the way I kind of would look at something like that instead of
it'd be like a switch up, right?
Right. Instead of it being like a negative thing, like, oh damn it, I don't get to squat for it. It's more like, oh, you know what? It's been a while since I've done the tempo squats. Oh, it's been a while since I've slowed down and controlled form. And look at it as a blessing in disguise. Like, oh, now it's forcing you to go that direction because you can't squat first. And then the days you come in and you get to go right into it, it's like, oh, I'm going to get after it today.
Totally.